Today I'm making chicken lemon ravioli because it's lockdown. This is the only thing I have in the fridge and it's rainy day and cold, so it's time to make ravioli. But before we can make ravioli, we have to make the filling first. So here are the ingredients. So chicken breast, 2 of them, and garlic, of course, and herbs and lemon. So I'm going to cook the chicken first with sauteing it lightly. It takes about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to transfer it to food processor to make it a fine paste. And let it cool in the fridge, and then by then I'll be ready to make the pasta. So this is the chicken. I'm cutting into about 1 inch thick, which will do for 5 minutes cooking. Nowadays chicken's very quick to cook. So now I'm ready to, let me just clean my knife because it's used for chicken. I'm going to crush the garlic before I can saute the chicken. Just lightly crush because it's going to be in the food processor. So here we go. Let me start with the chicken because I'm going to use a lot of my hands while I'm cooking. It's the best equipment in the kitchen. So salt first, and then I'm going to saute so I can move and look for my food. And there it is.
Okay, what herb?
Thyme and marjoram, and because I like butter, I know anything bad is good for you, so I'm adding butter while I'm cooking the chicken, the filling. I don't want it too dry. So, in order to get the lemon flavor, I'm only using the zest, which is, you get more flavor from the zest rather than juice, lemon juice. It's one of the lemon will do, because I don't want it too much overpowering the, so, yeah, noisy. Kitchen is noisy. Okay, one more, and now I'm going to transfer it to food processor. Wait, no. Okay, there we go. Never mind that bit. Never mind that bit will fall over. Have a look. I need more. I will try it first, and then if I need to adjust the seasoning, I will do so. So let me taste it. I can taste the lemon and the herbs. But I'm going to put big Parmesan, not all of these other. I'm grating the Parmesan cheese directly to the food processor. And then I will put it back, the machine running again. And let's see. Oh, here's my baby. What do? Okay, now I'm going to transfer it to the bowl so we can keep it in the fridge while I'm making the dough for pasta, for ravioli. and also we can keep it to cool and slightly firm, although it's very firm already, which is better. Okay, that's the filling. Okay, we made the ravioli filling already. Now it's time to make the dough, time to play. I have 3 egg yolks here because this is 300 grams of flour, semolina flour. So 1 yolk per 100 grams, which is about 4 ounces. And the water is, for now, I'm putting less than 100 milliliter to mix it with egg yolk. I put it here. And I prefer to start my dough in the bowl. And here it is, let me just show you. And then eat it with fork. If the water is not enough, we can always add more. It's easier that way, I find. Now, when you get to this stage, I can use my hand and let's see if we need more liquid water, and we transfer it. Yeah, I think this is it. We can form the dough. Let's transfer it on the counter. Might need a little bit more liquid, just a little. Need spare here. Okay, that will do. And time to play. And basta. Doesn't need to be neat. It doesn't have to be neat because we're going to let it rest. After it's rested, the pasta will become more elastic and easy to work with. Resting means just give it about, for me, 10 to 15 minutes, half an hour or even an hour, or keep it in the fridge for 2 hours, it will do. But now I think we're just gonna give it 10 minutes because I'm hungry. Underneath me here, so it can rest as. Okay, so we made a filling, we made a dough, and now we're making the sauce, which is mushroom sauce and white wine. So here we go.
No truffles.
No truffles. I wish. I wish I had.
They'd be very soggy.
We have to wait a little bit.
They'd be very soggy truffles if you found them now.
We have to wait until.
And I don't think any truffle dog wants to go out in this weather.
Until you legally can purchase it. This is Piemonte. So here we go. We're going to cook this a little bit with olive oil, about 2 tablespoons.
You're going to use the wine too.
And wine is for the cook. If it needs some thickening, here we go. Some salt. I can taste it. I taste it later on. And black pepper. Mushroom doesn't take time to cook. And my fire Too hot, too high. Okay. I can't see it before. There's a little bit more. A little bit more. And just a little bit of liquid, not too much. Water. And one. Anything you put in the pot is good for the glass and mouth. Cheers. Okay, cook the alcohol, cook the wine, but leave it there for about 2 minutes, and that should be it. If it needs some thickening, I will come back to it when I'm ready to serve, and I can adjust all the seasoning as well. Okay, here's the dough after rested. It's well rested and it's ready. And this is actually only been 10 minutes because we're running fast here. We're hungry. It's lunchtime here. So I'm going to cut this into 4, possibly 3. And then I'm just slightly flattening with my 2 thumbs before I feed it to the machine, and which is the widest setting. And I put some flour all over the counter, just so when the sheets are ready I can put it there so it doesn't stick. So here we go, it's gonna be noisy. Fold it into 3. And feed it to the machine. Okay, ready again to adjust it to the second setting, which will become a little bit thinner every time I adjust it.
How long is that? Is that a meter?
Well, it's going to be a meter.
Like a yardstick.
Well, this is for ravioli, so
Oh, that's very long.
for ravioli, so it should be thinner than pasta. Okay, because it's for ravioli, it should be thinner than for regular tagliatelle because it's going to be 2 like this. So this is thin. I prefer it thin because so It's lighter. It's lighter.
See how thin it is from here.
So beautiful. I know it's noisy, but I prefer the machine than hand rolling with rolling pin. So this is the dough after it's rested. This time is 10 minutes because I'm hungry. I'm ready to roll it out. If for someone who doesn't have pasta machine, we can always use this. So let me show you.
What is that? What's that thing over there?
We can almost, yeah, the rolling pin.
Oh, rolling pin. Ah. I'm sure everybody has a rolling pin.
I'm sure. So, it's a traditional making pasta before the machine. We use rolling pin.
Looks very hard.
Only if you like, but I'm so in love with pasta machine. But let me try. Oh,
Wow, looks like hard work to me.
it's a good exercise.
Which part of the body?
Okay. So, am I on a... This is a good workout. Yes. You will be rewarded with the most fantastic, delicious pasta afterward. So traditionally, this is hand rolled pasta. Here it is. You roll it towards you, and then here, back and forth, and more. Here, as you keep doing it, pasta is getting thinner and thinner, and getting wider and wider. And here we are.
But don't forget to keep putting flour onto the
sticks.
rolling pin so it doesn't stick.
No, it's fine. Fine. Okay, now I think we're getting close. We're getting close to cutting into strips. I'm ready to make ravioli, to put the filling into this. And I'm using this fantastic mold to make it easier and quick. It's like a shortcut. So I'm cutting. If I'm doing this for myself, I don't have to cut it. So I cut it the same length, well, about an inch away from the mold, so you have room, extra room, just in case the filling get out. Okay, there we go. And that's for the bottom and that's for the top. So here we go. Here it is. Like that. So overlap. Please. The thing here. So that's the chicken.
Do you push your thumbs in to dimple it in the mold, or
No, not necessary.
only when you're doing the filling?
Not necessary, because when I'm ready to put the other dough to seal the pasta, to seal the ravioli, then I just use my hand. It's too much. You can, yeah. Then, okay, here, I've been giving order by the cameraman.
The cameraman thought that would be nice to see the bowl with, as well as the stuffing.
Yeah, well, so Yeah, so I use my hand to put the filling into the individual mold. But if you want to, you can use the fancy, oh, I can't even remember because I never used it. Can't even remember the name.
The thing that fits onto the machine.
No, that's a bit, yeah, also, but that I tried that one, but what a mess. Saccopoche in Italian. In English, I can't remember.
Was that the
Piping bag. Piping bag.
one?
So,
Yeah,
I'm a manual.
I remember when we did the.
I'm a manual.
I remember when we put the attachment on the machine that it clogged all the blades, and I had to take the machine apart for 2 hours to try and unclog it. It never went back together again. That was machine number 1.
You have to learn, aren't you? You have to learn, you have to start. So this is why I'm using mold. For somebody out there who wants to make ravioli, if you try to do it without the mold, it will take you a while.
Remember the ladies at the restaurant when they just
Yes,
rolled it all
like,
by hand, but then
by
they
hand,
were.
everything cutting by hand.
But that was a team.
So here it is. I'm putting the other pasta sheet, and I just use my thumb, not my thumb, my palm, to seal it, and press gently, and here we go.
It looks
And
very
here we
simple.
are.
That looks very simple, doesn't it?
It is. Everything is simple, go. It's rather fun actually making ravioli. My grandchildren love to do this. But
They love to eat it too.
oh yeah, of course you can. Making ravioli is a labor of love. But tastes a lot better.
Remind me, what was the stuffing?
Chicken, lemon, and herbs.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah, with mushroom sauce. Yeah, I'm so sorry that we don't have truffles. But, usually most of the traditional sauce here is sage and butter. But today is exception, because this is the first time I made this chicken filling for ravioli. Usually either veal, pork or beef, but one of my best ravioli filling is pork cheeks. For next one, stay tuned. Okay. Yeah. So here we are. This is I'm putting the other sheet on top of the filled mold with chicken, and again I'm just pressing it lightly with my hand. I'm using my palm, and then and here we go. Here it is. Isn't that gorgeous? And we will cut it individually after we finish all this in front of us. This is for 2 people, but it's 4. Come and join us. These are my cuts. This one doesn't have this decorative thing around the ravioli.
Cut.
But doesn't matter. It does matter if you want it.
If you're doing a Michelin dinner.
Well, no, Michelin?
Okay.
You mean tire?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to use this without the... Oh, it does. No, it's not. So, this is faster and sharper.
There's no serration.
No serration. Oh, I just learned a new word. Okay. So imagine how many fingers if you have grandchildren or children. We love this. Harriet and Tony like to do this. Voila, finito. Now we're ready.
Why don't you hold up one of each kind to show that we see the difference between the edge. Show that we see the difference between the edge.
This is, oh, they're the same. That's the difference. Doesn't have.
Hold on, let me zoom in. Okay.
Or these, look. But most important for me is their seal. They are not going to burst when you put them in boiling water. So the flavor should be the same. Yeah. So let's go and put this in boiling water. Water is boiling. I don't want it to stick. Nearly there. Lots of Parmigiano.
What are you doing? You're testing it now.
Testing, you have to test.
Should I hold it up and see what you're doing?
I'm testing.
Okay.
You should always test. Buono. Buono. A little bit more. It needs a little bit more cooking.
Is it too dense?
That's not, yeah, that's not, yeah, not 2 minutes. Less than 2 minutes. Too al dente. Good. Basta. Basta, basta, basta.
I should remind
Basically just dropping it into hot water.
we should remind our viewers that basta is
Yeah,
Italian for
yeah.
enough.
So for Italians, we'll prefer like this. No sauce at all, just a little bit of olive oil and butter. And sage. That will do it. But, so, here we go. Your portion. Yeah. That's it. I can decide how to put the sauce. I can decide how to put the sauce as well. You're allowed to change your mind. All the time.
You can do sauce or no sauce. You can do one with
Oh,
sauce and one without sauce.
I'm gonna do with sauce.
Do one with sauce and one without sauce. That's saucy, isn't it?
You will. No, I cannot be naive.
So is he ready to call for service?
I'm ready, yes.
You have to remember you have to call in a loud voice.
Service, please.
Oh.
This is a home-cooked meal, and if you want, you can add this. I always put flour because it's so. This is washed by rain, so it's acceptable, I guess. And not pretty, it's beautiful, gorgeous. Service, please. Okay, and it's my turn. So I'm going to have one with mushroom sauce, and we can share this way. In theory, sauce, pasta goes to sauce, not the other way around. Okay? I do as I've been told. And this is my portion. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, cameraman. Ready to eat now.
Where's your plate?
Buon appetito.
Aren't you going to put Parmesan
Here is
on
my,
it?
of course you have gonna put. Of course you have. Here. And there. Am I still on camera?
You're still on live.
Oh no.
Everybody's watching you and getting hungrier and hungrier.
I am hungry.
Later on, when we get more clever, we can figure out how to do live
We're
streaming.
old couple. That's not. I mean, for me, this gadget stuff, not for me. So I stick to cooking. So.
But
So
you use a food processor, and you use an Imperia roller.
I will not go back to washing clothes in the river anymore. Do you understand? So those I cannot live without. Washing machine and my food processor.
The river's too polluted anyway.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's mine. I'm hungry and I'm really looking forward for my red wine now. Buon appetito. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more lockdown recipes. Bye for now. Ciao.
So, before we sit down to eat, or Rina might want to eat because I think the cook is very hungry, but we're going to do a little unpretentious wine today. This is a local Nebbiolo d'Alba, and I love my Scruple corkscrew. It's still the most efficient corkscrew ever made in the world, in my personal opinion. Invented by a Texas engineer who loved wine and didn't like corkscrews, and invented a perfect corkscrew, which then he sold out to Le Creuset, the famous French pot factory, and was able to retire and also won. Voila, you see how easy it is? Now, if I had a cameraman, I could zoom in and see it. Now, so this Nebbiolo d'Alba is from the Marchesi di Barolo, which is a prestigious house right in the center of Barolo town, and it's a Nebbiolo d'Alba 2017. And let me just give you a quick explanation. But Nebbiolo d'Alba is grown here in the Rero area, and it's a blend actually of Nebbiolo wine, the red grapes that are used to make the famous Barolos and Barbaresco, and they blend it with a little bit of white Arnese, which was the wine that Rina was using when she was cooking the sauce. Arnese grows around the Rero in these parts, and used to be considered a weed, and it sort of farmers used to try to get rid of it, but they discovered that if they blended the wine with the white wine with the red grapes, it made a very nice lighter version of the Nebbiolo, which aged a lot quicker and smoother than those big heavy tannic Nebbiolos for Barolo and Barbaresco. So this is, as I said, it's nothing pretentious, it's not super version, but it's very nice mark. And so let's just do a little bit of the usual, clear the nose. Well, actually, as you all know, that you have to look at the color first. Yes, and it's got a nice color actually. The color is
red.
Red. Of course, it's red. The color is nicely light. It's not that brown like those big old Barolos have. So then, of course, we You take a smell. Now, if you are a really wine person, then you would be telling us about I would be telling you about the different types of smells and perfumes and aromas in the wine, raspberry, tobacco, nicotine, all these kind of strange things. But one good thing about it, you can always smell to make sure it's not bad or too old. For me, it just smells like grape. It smells very nice, very, very delicious. And then, so I've smelled it, I've looked at it. What else should I do before I take? Oh, that's right. I like to hear the grapes singing. The symphony of the grapes as they got crushed. And now we do the first tasting. We roll around our tongue. A little bit of tartness, a little bit of tannins, but very smooth and very drinkable. Goes very well with the ravioli we're having today. So without further ado, I'm going to wish you all bon appetito, and cheers, and wishing you all here to come and visit us in Piemonte. Let's hope that this pandemic recedes soon and a vaccine becomes available. Cheers, bon appetito. Wow, looks like hard work to me.
It's a good exercise.